What impact will Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett have on constitutional law? There is a good chance that she will make her biggest early mark in the area of the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court has been surprisingly quiet on the right to bear arms since its 2008 landmark decision, Heller v. District of Columbia, which held that the Second Amendment protects the individual's right to own a handgun for home protection. 2 years later, it ruled that Heller applies to state and local governments as well as to the federal government. Last year it looked like the court might expand Second Amendment rights in a case involving a poorly written New York State statute that restricted the right to take a legally owned gun outside of one's home. However, the state repealed the law and the court chose to let it drop. Other than that, the court has not taken a Second Amendment case in more than a decade. This year could be different though. The court has already agreed to hear a case about whether the police can enter a person's home without a warrant to seize his guns in the name of community safety. That case will be argued in March and is discussed in a recent post. While that case involves the Second Amendment, it will probably be decided primarily on the basis of the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits warrant-less searches of a person's home in the absence of a genuine emergency. However, there is currently a petition before the court that much more squarely presents an important Second Amendment issue: whether the federal government can permanently strip a person of their Second Amendment rights as a result of a nonviolent felony such as tax evasion. Appellate courts have consistently sided with the federal government on this issue. But when Coney Barrett was an appellate judge, she wrote a dissenting opinion arguing that the federal government only has the power to strip dangerous felons of their Second Amendment rights. So it is clear that she wants to change course on this issue. The woman petitioning the Supreme Court to hear her case is Lisa Folajtar, who pleaded guilty to felony tax fraud in 2011. As a result, she lost her right to possess guns pursuant to 18 U.S.C. Section 922 G.1, which prohibits anyone convicted of a crime punishable by more than 1 year in prison from possessing firearms. She didn't actually serve any prison time, but the statute applies to her nonetheless. She has been trying to restore her right to gun ownership ever since. The appellate court ruled against her. It noted that in the Heller case the Supreme Court had limited Second Amendment rights to law-abiding, responsible citizens to use arms in defense of hearth and home. Since Congress decided that certain types of tax evasion are felonies, that means that she committed a serious crime in the eyes of the law and cannot be considered a law-abiding, responsible citizen.